Sean, do you know how many straight extra points you've made?
148.
Like when you're on when you kick one through, do you think to yourself that was 147?
No, I don't think that actually. And Jerry reminded me a couple weeks ago that I was close, and I was like, no, don't tell me that. Yeah, and during the game, you know, kind of before, I was like, I needed 2 more of these to beat this record, and I totally forgot until after the 3rd kick. I was like, wow. So, yeah, it was an exciting thing. So I didn't think about it on that particular kick, but I did remember the one right after.
What is the key to not missing extra points?
I think that, you know, obviously it's not a hard kick, it's not a long kick. It's really just being able to lock in, you know, that many times, especially on a big score, a big touchdown. A lot of people kind of get caught up, and then that's when you end up missing one. So, but a lot of the credit goes out to the line, the snapper and holder. They've done it 148 times in a row, not let anybody get through, not had a bad snap battle. You know, they've always gotten the ball down. So it's really not a hard kick to make if everyone else does their job. So.
Did you go home and celebrate?
Not really.
What's
we won.
A record, man? You got like a record book.
Yeah, no, I got a couple congrats from friends and family and stuff. So it was exciting, but. Never knew PATs would be my claim to fame.
Not having a claim to
I'll
fame
take
at all.
it though, yeah, right.
Well, enjoy it now because in the league it's a little different.
Yeah, no, it is for sure.
Urban was talking about some of the changes you made. Was it just like with your workout regime and stuff to like?
Yeah.
That's helped you increase your leg strength.
Yeah,
what was that?
I think the first couple of years I was here, I was kind of scared of the weight room and scared of Coach Mick and everybody, so I kind of stayed away and didn't kind of use that, you know, to my advantage. I think the last year and a half, I've really kind of grown up. I love the weight room now, and I understand how much it helps me. So this off season, I really did a ton extra with Coach Quinn, one of the strength coaches. A lot of extra strength stuff with my legs all summer long. Did some extra leg workouts, and it's really helped me get that strength back that I kind of lost getting hurt last year. You know, and during the spring I had no chance of hitting a 60-yarder, not even close really. The extra work over the summer finally got that back. I'm popping 60-yarders again, so it's really paid off, you know, really taking advantage of the weight room.
When you have a groin issue,
right,
how long does it take before the weight room is a place that you're not afraid to let it go in? You know what I mean? Yeah,
right. You know, I think that, yeah, the rehab was the first couple months. You know, all I was worried about is the rehab stuff, right? And then just kind of thinking, oh, if I go too hard in the weight room, I'm just going to hurt myself again. So I might as well just not do this at all. You know, I'm just going to do the rehab. And I think once I got through the spring and, you know, I wasn't hitting the ball as far, but there wasn't really the pain there. You know, once I got to a couple months pain-free, then I kind of realized that now I need to really kind of step my game up, get back in the weight room. You know, or else it's not just going to come back naturally, you know, what you've lost. So
were there times, there were times where you skipped weight training?
Not skipped, but I didn't do the extra stuff that I needed to get back. You know, I lost some of that strength last year, and, you know, it's not just going to come back, you know, right?
Right.
So in a lot of that strength I kind of had naturally coming in freshman year, you know, that I kind of lost. The only way to get that back is doing extra. You know, and to me, I just kind of did the normal stuff, and clearly it wasn't working. I came out in the spring, wasn't kicking the ball that well, didn't have the strength and power until I started doing the extra stuff, you know, and that's what kind of got me back to that point.
Sean, did you use last year as motivation coming into this season?
Yeah, you know, and there's really no one to be mad at but myself, you know, and you know, I got hurt, and you know, all I could really do was use it as motivation. I guess I couldn't, you know, really be mad at anyone else about it. But yeah, you know, it really sucks sitting out a year. You know, I ended 15 well, kicked really well in the spring of 16, and then a couple days before camp I get hurt, you know, so it's really crappy. Especially I really thought last year was going to be my year to come out, you know, and kill it. So kind of getting that taken away, you know, really sucked. So yeah, no, it feels good being back out there.
Sean, on this kickoffs, you know, 40 or 4-second hang time on the 2 inside the numbers, how hard is that to do? Like, is that realistic?
It is realistic. It is hard. I think the hardest thing for me this year has been, you know, a lot of guys, they spend all off season kicking off, kind of preparing for that. I didn't do that. You know, I really didn't start kicking off till a couple weeks ago. I spent this whole off season just on field goals, and, you know, kind of didn't even worry about the kicking off part. You know, coming off the groin injury, wanted to play it safe. I think we all did. So yeah, kind of, it's one of those things you really have to work on, and really, it's not just going out. A lot of people can go out and just bang the ball as far as you can, which is a lot different than kind of placing the ball like that. And it's still 65 yards away, and kind of getting it in a 5x5 square takes a lot of practice. So I think that's the main thing for me, is just practicing over and over and over. You know, it's not something that you can just kick 10, 15 times and you can do it, you know. And especially when you do get a little wind, being able to hit the ball through that, I think that's the main problem that I had on some of the bad kickoffs that I had the other day. So it's getting better. You know, I'm getting more practice now. I'm like 4 or 5 weeks into kicking off again, so it's getting a lot more consistent, a lot better.
But it's doable.
Yeah, it is doable. Yeah. And there's a lot of guys in the past that have done really well. You know, even Tyler last year, Jack Willoughby, Kyle Clinton my freshman year. You know, they all did really well. The same thing with Blake, fully capable. It's just, you know, if you do hit one a little off, you know, it's up to the other guys to adjust. But, you know, it is our job to kick it in the corners.
So Urban obviously has expressed concern a couple times this season with the kickoff. Will it be where it needs to be for Penn State?
I think it is. You know, we got a lot of work done today. And I think the main thing for me, if I do kick off, is, you know, I've been in a really good groove in field goals. I think I let some of those kickoffs, the touchdown they scored, kind of get in my head before I kicked that field goal that I shanked off against whoever that was, against Maryland, I guess. You know, and I think that's a main concern for me kicking off, is not letting, if there's a bad kick, if something happens, let it affect my field goals and those things. Yeah, I think it'll be where it needs to be. We're kind of working out what we're going to do. We hit some really good balls today, so I think it's really good having this bye week. You know, we don't really have to worry about resting our legs and, you know, being at full strength on Saturday. We can really kick a ton of balls today and tomorrow, just kind of work on those kicks to the corner.
And this is, I don't even know how to phrase it in a question, but obviously Penn State blocked a punt and blocked a field goal last year.
Yeah, I was here.
You know, this is the kind of game that special teams could determine who wins the game.
Yeah, and it was the same thing last year. You know, we had that game won, really. You know, that field goal, even if the field goal would have missed, you know, it's still, we're up by like 4 points, whatever we were up by. You know, and it's really, you know, we are working hard. The line's working really hard, and punt. You know, obviously there was just some miscommunication on the punt last year that got blocked. And, you know, those are things that shouldn't happen, you know, against Penn State or anybody, really, you know. So, yeah, we're working just as hard as, you know, as we do every other week. Obviously, this game, we won a little more, you know, because of what happened last year. So, but yeah, we're preparing the same as we always do.